map and probably have problems at the minute. As we know, this Cloud9 is not the one being taken away. So a different set of bans compared to what you're used to seeing on Coastline. Admittedly, haven't seen tons of Coastline lately, so don't have a whole ton. Inside of T1, this push inside of service is going to be the play. They've got two currently looking to set inside there. 2 kills coming out. One of them, I believe, to finish off onto the down but not out player of Neilio, coming from the secondary from Harper, making it into a third in the round for Cloud9 before
Prismas as he goes, but just the way he moved into that corner, then a quick flick towards the corner of the room. The prone Shio will get Yeti. And this is, as I was saying, Des, just unaware of what he was going into there. Lack of information at the minute for T1.
Yeah, very much caught out in that spot. And let's not forget those first 3 kills in the round that all went the way of Cloud9, all within 60 seconds. Very early aggression, not focused around the site. It was more about this kind of aggressive push out towards meeting T1 on the entry into the building, which I think is going to work well for Cloud9. Obviously, it has in round number 1. Another kill coming out with the Bailiff, by the way. Okay.
For the time being, it looks like T1 might just actually dip away from this fight. In comes another drone, very quickly taken out, but elsewhere in the map, Neilio manages to find himself a kill onto MV Taylor, but Shiol's job continues.
So those two need to be very careful as we step into the dying seconds. A bit of utility still remaining. A grenade for Neilio now being thrown out. Replica finding only chance, and now it's a 3 versus 2 with 50 seconds to play. You're feeling good if you're T1 here, given the numbers that you've got. And Shiol whiffs an absolute sitter. Diffuser finally gets dropped down and knows that there is still one more man lurking out in the hallway. Don't think he's seen him just yet. Manages to creep himself away quite safely. 11 missing him by just a couple of pixels as well. That could be the difference maker. 11 crouch walking around finds 1. Shiles looking completely the wrong way, and 11 does what 11 does best. A 3k in the round to get T1 over the finish line and take round number 2.
Get in there and open those vertical angles. We saw Shiol at the end there, able to still play by the storage and the B bomb, and it just made a bit of a problem for them. But I tell you what, there's not much of a problem coming in from MV Taylor this round. Des Crazy Boy steps straight inside of Office and takes him down. Shiol moving his position out of Sunrise, looks to make the challenge into Blue Bar and stops that early aggression. In comes the fight, and that's one that he should never be winning there with the amount of damage that he's just tanked, but he manages to find a headshot onto Replica and put him down, and that's a big start for Cloud9 in round 3.
Coastline just feels more and more as the days go by them. You saw his arm, there was the shot onto Shah that you were looking for. I was going to say, Coastline feels more and more like a swing or be swung map, because every single kill you have seen in this round is the player playing just outside of the doorway. One now moving up towards kitchen window, so they have got 2 angles being set up. But you're seeing the issue here, all these early fights mean limited amounts to be able to go and get rid of the utility. In they walk though, all 3 marching in through kitchen, finding one. Can they find a second? One going down, one through the rotate though. Cloud9 just caught unawares here, despite the full knowledge of what the game plan was. A 1 versus 1 here for Harper. Can he bring it out big for the team? One's rotated back through service, should be able to finish off the down man, but with zero knowledge of where he is, this is going to be a bit of a war. Will he use him as bait here? I thought he was going to for a second. He's inside a bathroom. Harper, zero clue of that fact, is waiting for the man to step out. May try and go for the defuse here as well as Neilio starts stepping up, looking for the rotate down to 2 seconds. Is he going to stick it? Steps already have been deployed at this point, but 4 rounds here without really much contribution is going to be a bit of a stinker. 11 finally being dropped at the same time. So you can see again, this scrap that has happened out towards the east side of the map has nothing to do with the site itself, but the side of Cloud9 constantly want to keep them at bay, keep them asking questions around exactly how much do we have left to push the site here. The answer in this round in a 2 versus 3 is not a lot.
Cloud9 just dropping themselves back to site now, looking to haul up and just turtle this one out for the next minute. That's going to be the attempt. They've got 2 men inside of Sunrise, 1 inside of Blue Bar. Yeti looking to use, he's actually just dropped back into Office, which was a smart move because it keeps him out of that line of sight. So Yeti able to push forward on the knock here, won't be picked up by any information utility. Just conscious that there could be somebody in behind that bar. There isn't. I think one's just relocated upstairs actually, which could be a good shout. Replica with a kill onto Shiol does give him access into the site, will clear out the Banshee. He's going to get challenged a little bit. I go quiet there because I was just questioning his movement. You know, we all know there's going to be a rotate from Blue, then they'll be confident that they can turn out a win, but there's certainly going to be a bit of an obstacle in the way in the side of this T1 side because they're having a good game so far.
Yeah, the frags being removed as well is a pretty big deal. Doesn't really feel like it. Well, they've got an impact. They've got the impacts of the Zofia. They've got these shock drones coming out of Crazy Boy, sure, but think about mute jammers here, for example. They'll be the headache for them unless they can clear them out, because you've also got to deal with the Wamai. So that lost utility probably going to sting as much as it does Envy getting a 2k in the round, very low on HP himself, but again, putting a massive dent in their side, and now the Twitch is gone, more headaches for T1.
Certainly is. Looking from the rooftop with Yeti there, just trying to get anything started that he can, but hit on the reverse angle by Harper, and it leaves us now 2v5. 11 looking to make a challenge. He's actually being pressured from outside of theatre through one of those punch holes. Harper finds Replica, meanwhile. 11 doing everything he can, but there he is. There comes the drop. It's a great anticipation from 11 that might be the case, but I think he's going to find himself challenged very, very soon. Now he turns around, does pay attention and gets the kill, but as I was saying, the problem is that they know exactly where he is now, so you can get the first kill or two in a 1v4, but all it does is sharpen the senses of the ones that are left.
I was going to say, he's got all his utility left on side. You could have burnt those impacts potentially into the floor above you and just hope to catch someone standing above. Like, you don't know, but it's the hopeful possibility. Whereas here he's kind of smashing his way through the door, not quite with a sledgehammer, but close enough. As Cloud9 know exactly where his planned attempt is going to come through here. Swinging now onto the balcony. You got Static holding up nice and close, and it's an easy tap and spray down onto the low health 11. Cloud9 taking the round, and again, another one of those. Cloud9 being disruptive by himself right now, maybe being challenged, and here it comes. Fight not yet lost, at least for the Sledge, I believe it is. Neilio down to about 75. Harper only slightly worse off. Spray through the bar, isn't quite going to connect, and round comes Neilio, does find the kill. And finally, Ace, we've got a Sledge on the top floor. Static stepping up to contest as more members of T1 now realise reinforcements are needed and look to start moving another couple up there as well. Crazy Boy into another kill. Neilio smashing this wall open, knows the Goyo is there, but Static finds the double. That's the damage that you're looking for, and for T1, despite better movements in this round.
Taylor, keep an eye on him. He's been in security this whole time. He hasn't been affected. Crazy Boy comes in with a big kill onto Oni-chan. 2 versus 2, squared away, leveled up, but Envy Taylor has an opportunity to go massive inside of this round. Now Static sets up. That's 4. Envy Taylor just snatches it away from...
Nazira now has kind of become their go-to staple flex pick. 11 being the first one to get picked off by Envy Taylor. That's the man that you want to be shutting down in these games. The second coming in for Harper as that butt finds a kill onto Crazy Boy. And with those two silenced, the two would-be roamers, I guess. Maybe you're also looking towards the Malusi and the Aruni to be getting off site here too. Cloud9 should start building up that pressure. One more connect, so 5 versus 2. Surely, Ace, this is the kind of round that you don't lose.
Great start from Cloud9 here. As I said at the beginning of the game, one of the big concerns for them, one of the big problems has been that switch of sides and losing momentum when they've come out and had a strong start. This time, it doesn't look to be the case. Could this be us starting to return towards some sort of status quo here where Cloud9 are a force to be reckoned with? They've come in, Static gets another one onto Yeti, it leaves Replica all alone. Intical option is gone. T1 can just completely focus on site here.
Where have we seen that before, I wonder? Just like back in the first half, the lack of vertical play stung teams. And for Cloud9, now it's about trying to build that up with what little resource they have left. And unfortunately, it's not the right resource that you need to be clearing out verticals. Potentially 4 versus 2 with only the Yana and the Gridlock remaining. In comes Oni-chan, finds one, his first of the whole fixture so far. Sees one more coming in, potentially a second as he gets the down. But the mirror, hanging behind the mirror window, must know about this one, but they can't quite catch each other. Shotgun was out, but Neilio finds the kill from Bathroom. T1 find that round, and you always ask the question, is do anything to one another?
Neilio just dipping a little bit back from that Black Mirror there. Harper's going to find the kill onto 11 to start things off for Cloud9. Neilio still proving a little bit of a nuisance there, just making the challenge onto the Book of Harper, but won't be successful. The Monty almost losing his life there. Oni-chan needs to be careful, getting aggressive, pushing in, and finds himself just stunned out and shield broken.
Good idea.
That's the move. Take out the mirror, stop the knowledge for Neilio, and the kill comes in almost immediately afterwards from Static. Almost at the halfway point, 5 versus 3. Cloud9 looking much better on this attack than they did last time around.
Yeah, I think good clearance there. Team clearance is the most important part. They've realised the mirror's there. They pinch her out so she can't run from the Monty. You have the Thatcher pressuring for a service entrance, and you then have the flank coming from behind to make sure he's well and truly cornered. So maybe a little bit of team play you'd be looking for from Team 1 there, not quite in place. But for Cloud9, they've got make it 3 kills now, potentially a repeat of round number 7 when they got themselves to flawless. No, Yeti going to shut that one down. Cast the curse, speaks it into existence, but he's got all the work to do by himself. And with a minute and 15 still to play, a Monty on the board, there should be 0% chance that he wins the round. Indeed, he will not. Static taking the closing kill, and let's say Fnatic, Cloud9, sorry, moving up to match point.
It's going to be the Doc picking up Static, taking the Dokkaebi down, so that's going to be the loss of those phone calls as well. Envy Taylor going by the wayside, and T1 fighting their way into this one quite nicely. It seems to have been a little bit of a recurring theme here that we get these multiple kills coming in to start things off, and
again,
the sort of rounds landslide in one direction, but this time Harper able to get one, bringing it a little bit closer, just misses the head of the man on Cool Vibes there. A minute in, and we've already got 3 dead.
It's the same vibe once again, right? Monty pushes in from kitchen service. There's a player isolated inside a kitchen, and he gets shot from the window or from someone pushing in from Sunrise door. It's just, again, really good team play, and T1 maybe not being respectful of the fact that Cloud9 have done it once. They're likely going to try and make it happen again. All that said, though, they are into that 3 versus 4, so that 1 kill is something, but not necessarily the strongest you're looking for, given you've lost 2 of your own elsewhere around the map. So in the 3 versus 4, they've got a minute and a half to play with. One thing I'll give to both teams, this has not been a slow wait until the final 30 seconds and it's still 5 versus 5. Consistently, these rounds seem to be ending well before the 30 seconds remaining mark.
Leveled up there as Harper manages to find a nice kill through. And just stalling out a little bit here, just being forced to sit in their positions. They've effectively only got 2 men attacking the site here, with Shayol still up on the rooftop. Oni-chan going to be forced away. Shayol has now dropped. That's a point to the credit for Cloud9. 30 seconds left to go. They need to get moving.
The Neoyo C4 is the one big thing I was watching out for. In fact, it's just been thrown out and did nothing. I was going to say that was their chance to go for the deny, but Harper walking his way up the corridor here, finds out onto a 3rd in the round, almost gets to 4th, but Crazy Boy a little bit too quick. Now in the 1 versus 2, it's Crazy Boy against the Monty and Shyle. The last 2 you really want to be facing off against, but 10 seconds to play. If he finds one, it could be enough. It's not gonna be. Oni-chan collecting the kill, and Cloud9 with a much-needed win.
Uncomfortable there at the end, wasn't it, for the Jaeger? He was just Monty on one side and Shayol on the other. Where do you go? He was between a rock and a hard place. It was a nice crossfire, and it was surely a matter of time. There was no way that he was going to duck, dive and weave between those bullets for the next 10 seconds. So Cloud9, they close it out immediately as soon as they get that match point opportunity. It's a good performance.